Is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to the program for September 7th, 2021. My name is Ron Juckett. We go back to week 2 of the 1984 NFL season for the first of 2 games this week. Today, we have the undefeated Denver Broncos versus the undefeated Chicago Bears. It'll be John Elway and Jim McMahon going head-to-head on a beautiful fall day in the Windy City, which isn't really very windy today. Real life, John Elway didn't start this game. Gary Kubiak did. And must have gotten hurt, and so must have Elway, because the Broncos used a quarterback I've never heard of. He played in a grand total of 4 NFL games and was a bench player in the 87 strike. How about that? So there you go. So John Elway, Jim McMahon, of course, Walter Payton, and the Bears. Their big year, of course, would be 85. And if they actually had, not that Jim McMahon was a bad quarterback, but if they actually had, let's say, someone of the likes of Bernie Kosar as quarterback, you'd have to think the Bears would have won more than one Super Bowl. The Broncos, well, they're on the rise. Elway is just barely 24 years old. And they, of course, will make the playoffs this year. They would lose their AFC divisional playoff game to the Pittsburgh Steelers at the end of the season, of course. But Denver, a team on the rise. Chicago, they still got Walter Payton. And the future is looking pretty good. So if you're ready, we're ready. Let's play some football, shall we? The Bears and the Broncos next. As Retro Sports Network presents NFL Replay 84, Week 2 from Soldier Field in Chicago. It is the Chicago Bears and the Denver Broncos. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, your number one podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. And so remember, as you join us late, that our kickoff time for football now is 11:45-ish Eastern Time. We're trying to get you all out the door by 1:30 so we can all do what we need to do. So Denver and Chicago, as we said in the open, John Elway and Jim McMahon, the quarterbacks. Walter Payton had 153 yards as Chicago whipped the Tampa Bay Buccaneers so bad that Tampa is now just floating for life in the Gulf of Mexico. Denver won their opener. They can run the football. They, of course, are a pass-first team. How you doing, Guardian fan? So here's the toss of the coin. 58 degrees. John, how you doing? Wind blowing just barely. It's not a windy day at all. And the Broncos have won the toss. You can see the weather right there. They will receive the kickoff. The Bears are in blue with the helmets, the orange seat, and the blue face mask. Gerald Lang back deep for the Broncos in the white jerseys, the blue helmets, and with the orange D in the Bucket Bronco with the white face masks. Thomas and Wilhite. 2 Johns in the chat. Sounds kind of dirty, Mr. John. How are you? Denver will play for the return, and the kick is underway to Thomas at the 15-30, and he's hit at the 38. Finzer kicking for Chicago. We'll fix that, I think, in a minute. 25-yard return, and the Broncos start from their own 38-yard line. 1st and 10. Let's make sure we actually have kickers. Carlos on the label. Okay. John Elway completed 65% of his passes. He's driving, but he's listening. So was John Elway. He's about to go on a drive. Sammy Winder, who ran for 82 yards last week. The primary back, Gerald Wilhite, the secondary back. I feel like the third or fourth party of which of these things is not like the other. Hey, I've spent my entire life that way, Tribe fan. Steve Watson is your flanker. Butch Johnson is your tight end, or is your other receiver, your split end, and John Sawyer is your tight end. Winder off tackle right on first down from the 38. Handoff from Elway. He is hit at the 40 by Mike Hartenstein for a gain of 2. Let's meet the Bronco line in charge of keeping John Elway purdy. Ken Lanier, the left tackle. Paul Howard, the left guard. Bill Bryan's your center. Keith Bishop smells pretty. He's the right guard. And Dave Studdard is the right tackle. Butch Johnson, medium slant. Second and 8 from the 40. In a hurry. Elway has to throw. Down to Winder. First down. It's a gain of 10 as Elway goes to a second read. Otis Wilson with a stop. And the ball is on the midfield stripe. Here's how the Bears line up. Technically, it's a 4-6. Mike Hartenstein is the left defensive end. He had 3 tackles against the Bucks. Dan Hampton and Steve McMichael, the nose tackles. And Richard Dent is the other end. Otis Wilson, left outside linebacker. Mike Singletary and his eyes patrol the middle. Wilbur Marshall is the right outside linebacker. Mike Richardson and Leslie Frazier are the corners. Todd Bell and Gary Fensick are the safeties. First and 10 midfield. Medium slant to Watson to call. Elway has time. Gonna scramble. First down across the 40. And Todd Bell brings him down at the 39. A gain of 11. Opening series. Remember, Elway can scramble. He's probably their best runner. Ken Lanier, the left tackle, with a stop, or with a big hole. So first and 10 again. Medium fly for Watson. Elway again has time. Tried for a Winder, couldn't get there. Mike Singletary hurried him. And it'll be second and 10 from the Bear 39 with 12:35 on the stop clock. Gerald Wilhite on a fullback dive on second down, gets a bit of a block. The ball is loose. Dent knocks it out, and Bishop, the right guard, will fall on it, and it's a gain of 2. So Richard Dent with the tackle, punched it out, and it'll be 3rd and 8 for Denver from the Bear 37. They can try a field goal from here. Sawyer on a short cross, the call. Elway has time. He's got Sawyer, and what do you think? John reached over and got the first down. So Todd Bell with a tackle, but it's a gain of 8. First and 10 from the Bear 29. So this time of year, Mr. Tim, are you a Brown fan, 0879, or do you not care? Winder. Trap right from the 29. Hand off from Elway. Got about 2 before Steve McMichael reached over and snarled him down. Ooh, good. You could be Dogs fan 879. Okay. Woof, woof. My favorite mailman is 12 miles from a major fire here in California. If I was Delaware Chris, I'd show you how smoky the drive is. I have someone I went to high school with out in the Tahoe area, and it's just it's gotten so bad that it makes it hazy here in Vermont, and we're 3,000 miles away. Second and 8 for the Broncos. Wilhite on a flat pass. Elway to the far sideline. He better hurry. He gets dropped by Otis Wilson, and it did not work. Wilhite got his butt out there to the sideline, but Elway was swarmed over in a hurry. It'll be 3rd and 16 from the Bear 35 with 10:24 to go. Clock running here in the first quarter. 3 wide receivers, Watson, Johnson, and Ray Alexander. Watson on a long slant from the 35. Elway is crushed by Dan Hampton. Again, the blocking needs to be faster. Chicago, that line patrols the line of scrimmage like a dog that hasn't eaten in a week. And Elway has been brought down twice in this opening drive, and they are out of field goal range. The Walmart parking lot was Tent City today. So sad. Oh, yeah, with all those displaced folks. Yeah, we didn't get any rain from Ida here, Tribe fan, but certainly our friends in southern New England, Dave did all right. And I'm thinking that Al did okay. But if you're from the New York metropolitan area, you certainly did not. 4th and 23. And Chris Norman is going to be forced to punt. The Broncos have the wind behind him, so he's going to have to go for the sideline. Fisher back to return it. Norman, not Greg, but he shanked it like Greg, and it worked. It goes out of bounds at the 2-yard line. And so with 8:57 to go in the first quarter, the Bears take over in the shadow of their own end zone. Jim McMahon, the quarterback, he completed 81% of his passes against Tampa last week. Matt Suhey, the fullback, and the great Walter Payton, the running back. The split end is Dennis McKinnon. Willie Gault, he was a hurdler, right? Fresh off the Olympics in his rookie year. And Emery Moorhead is the tight end. Bears going day high. Walter Payton. Trap left. Handoff from McMahon in the end zone, and that's going to be, well, you didn't see it, but it's a gain of 6. He got hit by Harden in the end zone and broke loose, and he got to the 8-yard line. And that's a gain of 6. So they are Carl Mecklenburg with the tackle. So good play by the Bears. 2nd and 4. Jimbo Covert, the left tackle. He was missing from football card day. Kurt Becker. His brother Boris is one heck of a tennis player. Jay Hilgenberg, the center. Mark Bortz. Doesn't need a lot of right guard shampoo, does he? And Keith Van Horn is the right tackle. Suhey. On a dive. Hand off from McMahon. Suhey waits for the C's to part. Won't get it. The ball is loose. And Emery Moorhead retains it. Chicago fell right on it. Rulon Jones stripped the football. Tribe fan says, I wonder if Mike Harden signs photos of him getting lit up by Steve Largent. Ouch. Ouchie, ouchie. Here's the fumble again, and then we'll introduce the Bronco defense. 8:02 to go, first quarter, clock running. Broncos play a 4-3. A 3-4, rather. Rulon Jones, who you just saw with the strip ball, the left end. Reuben Carter, the nose tackle. And Barney Chavez is the right end. Tom Jackson, before Chris Berman, the left outside linebacker. Steve Busick, the left inside. Rick Dennison is on the right on the inside. And Carl Mecklenburg is the right outside linebacker. Louis Wright and Mike Harden, who's on Dennis McKinnon, are the corners. Steve Foley, the strong free safety. And Dennis Smith, who had 7 tackles last week, the strong safety. 3rd and 2. Short cross to Emery Moorhead. But they'll allow the ball into a fullback dive for Peyton. Hand off to Walter, and that was the wrong move. He needed 2 and got 1. So Rick Dennison with a stop. They showed blitz but played zone. I would have... McMahon made the mistake of audible there. But that just tells you that Dave Finzer is coming at the punt. The Bears going into what little wind there is. And Thomas and Wilhite back deep to receive for Denver. From his goal line to the sideline, and that goes out of bounds at the Denver 47. 42-yard punt, no return. 6:36 to go in the first quarter. It's the Broncos nothing and the Bears nothing. Billy Johnson on a long slant. Broncos trying to get some. Elway down to Winder, checked off, and Sammy gets a gain of 7 before Otis Wilson can make the tackle. And so Elway good at going to his second read. And the Broncos trying to move the football a bit. Winder. Pitch right. The call. Elway. Pitches near side to Winder. Winder gets a block. First down and more into the secondary before Gary Fensick can make the tackle. A gain of 10. Spotted at the Bear 36. 5:43 to go. So here's Wilhite on a trap right. Elway again near side. Wilhite hit at the line of scrimmage. Thrown down by Wilber Marshall. It'll be 2nd and 10. The clock goes under 5 minutes here in the opening quarter. Shout out to Big Dave 1174. He is our latest follower. And he used his Amazon Prime or Twitch Prime freebie subscription to subscribe here. And so Amazon has to pay me $2.50 out of the $5. So you can link, remember, your Prime subscription to this channel, and it won't cost you a thing, just like it didn't cost Big Dave 1174 anything. So thank you so much, fine sir. 2nd and 10 for Denver from the Bear 36. Johnson on a short slant. Elway is going to scramble. Hampton knocks it loose, and Elway fell on it. So Elway gets it knocked out of his hand. The Bears are hungry. Denver recovered. 4:23 clock running. And it'll be 3rd and 10 from the Bear 36. And yes, they are technically in field goal range. Winder, short, flat, near sideline. Elway, quick throw, and he leads him astray. So the Broncos will go for the long field goal to put the first points on the board. Rich Carlos from 53 yards has a 30% chance. Norman to hold. Carlos gets a toe on it and pushes that wide right. He got it there, but he couldn't keep it straight. And the game remains scoreless. 3:39 first quarter, if you're just joining us. Broncos and Bears scoreless in Chicago. Last week, the Broncos beat the Bengals 23-21 in their opener. They'll have Cleveland next week. First and 10 for the Bears. Dennis McKinnon on a long out from McMahon. Broncos blitz. McMahon is heard footsteps, and Busick brought him down for a loss of 6. 2nd and 16. Spot the ball at the Bear 30. Suey on the screen. McMahon near sideline. Waits. Suey's got it. 25-30, 35-40 before Steve Wilson can bring him down for a gain of 12. It'll be 3rd and 4. This will be Payton on a sweep right. McMahon, Payton far side, waits for the block, can't get the first down as Louis Wright brought him down. Keith Van Horn will get a piece of gum chewed by Mike Ditka thrown at him as he made the bad block to allow Louis Wright to get there. So 4th and 3, the Bears will be forced to punt again. Minute 56 clock running. Dave Finzer for the second time. Thomas and Wilhite back to return. And Denver wants to return this. Finzer to the 15. Wilhite 20, 25, 30. And Harold Raines makes the tackle. R-A-I-N-S. I don't know if it's Harold. But he'll never play in Southern California. You know why? Because it never rains in Southern California. From the 29 of Denver, Elway gets the ball for the 3rd time. And as expected between the Bears and any team, it's a slobber knocker. Butch Johnson, medium cross on 1st down. Elway has time. Flag is down.
Offsides. Defense. Number 99.
And that's a freebie as Dan Hampton decided to get out of his own end and jumped across. 1st and 5. Minute 13 to go for the Broncos. Johnson on a long slant and go. Elway, free play, essentially throws down to a Winder. Sammy's got a 1st down and more. He's using that checkoff receiver very well. Winder gets the 1st down. It's his 3rd catch of the quarter. And that's a gain of 9. Spotted at the Denver 43 in minute 3 clock running. Rick Parros in the game. Trap right, 1st and 10 from the Bronco 43. Parros 45, he's hit for a gain of 6 by Leslie Frazier. And that's how the 1st quarter will end. Scoreless in Chicago. We played 15 minutes. Denver nothing, the Bears nothing. We'll be back in a moment. Well, on the Digital Dice scoreboard, Chicago has not had a 1st down. Denver has had 5 and 52 yards to the Bears' 16 yards. Elway 4 for 6, but a lot of checkdowns and 2 sacks. Samuel Winder's been busy, 3 runs for 14 yards and 3 catches for 26. And the Bears have had it twice and can't move the football. You haven't missed a score. 2nd down and 4 for the Broncos. Winder on a pitch to the near sideline gets it. Is he going to block? He will kind of get one. It's a gain of 1 before Todd Bell will make the tackle. D. Scott Howard, sponsored by Star Trek. So 3rd down and 3 for the Broncos. First play of the 2nd quarter. 14:54 to go in the half. Parros on a sweep to the right. Does he get a block? He moves some people around and he is short. He got the Red Sox fan measurement. Wilbur Marshall with the tackle, and it's 4th and inches. Triple tight end set. Kay and Summers join. Elway calls his own number on a dive. Does he get a block? He does. And he gets 3 as Dan Raines makes the tackle. And the Broncos keep it alive. Dan Reeves and his tie would have been very upset if Elway hadn't made it. But on 4th and inches, with those fresh legs, you gotta go. And they do. 13:26 clock running. Johnson on a medium slant. Bears jam the receivers. Elway goes with a play. He throws. He's got Johnson open at the 30. He is hit by Mike Richardson at the 27. They'll spot it at the 28, and the Broncos have another first down. Elway 5 of 7 for 50 yards. Watson on a long hitch. The Broncos want to score. Bears swarm. Singletary knocks it away, and they recover the football. They sack Elway. Elway was running around with it like a baton, and Singletary knocked him down and took the football with him. Here it is again. And the Bears take over on their own 33. No score, second quarter. Payton. Trap left. Hand off from McMahon. Waller doesn't get much. He made those 2 yards happen. Mike Harden with a tackle. Last week against the Buccaneers, the Bears had 426 yards. It's their second home game of the year. As we said, they knocked the Bucks back in the Gulf of Mexico 41-3. And next week, they go on the road for the first time to play the Green Bay and then out to Seattle. We might have that Week 5 game between Chicago and Dallas. That's not the infamous 41-0 game. Yep, those creamsicle Yuccaneers. So 2nd and 8 for the Bears. McKinnon on a medium slant. McMahon to throw it. He's blitzed. He's sacked by Chavis. Second time McMahon has found the turf. It's 3rd and 16. Ditka chops some gum, throws it on the ground. They go 3 wide. Cameron. Jack Cameron is the third receiver. Galt on a medium cross. McMahon under center. Waits, throws. Galt's got it. Does he have a first down? He reaches over. Gets 17. The Bears finally have their first down. Louis Wright on the tackle. Broncos playing a prevent. And we know what happens. Payton in the flat. Far sideline, and he's sacked. Reuben Carter, Bessedoff, Becker, and Hilgenberg to get to McMahon. You think the Seattle game was the same day the Cubs lost to the... It might be Week 5? Yeah, Week 4 is our Murder, She Wrote special because that's the first of those. Oof. Oof. That's an oofta. So 2nd and 17. Payton on the draw. McMahon hands off. Payton to the 40. Hit by Louis Wright at the 41. A gain of 4. And it's 3rd and 13. Again, Cameron the third receiver. McKinnon on a medium cross. Bears will stick with the play call. McMahon under center. He waits. He throws. He's got McKinnon open at the Denver 40. Mike Harden got Athling's scalp on that one, and it's 1st and 10. So McMahon 3 for 3 for 51 yards. And the Bears have it. 8:24 clock running on the ball on the Denver 37. Payton, pitch left, near side out of the same formation. Walter waits, gets a block across the 30. It's a first down. He ran for 153 against the Bucks last week. And he has 11 here, so 7 carries overall as a team for 27 yards. First and 10, halfway home here in the second. 7:36 to go. Last week we ran so long I moved the kickoffs back to 11:45 so we could be done by 1:30. It's halfway through the second quarter and it's only 12:15 today. Suey back in the game. Off tackle left, and McMahon is forced to call time. 6:58 to go. Second quarter, no score. Trap left for Suey. Hand off from McMahon. Suey hit behind the line by Rulon Jones. Kurt Becker, the left guard, with a bad block. The Bears' defense is dynasty quality, and I'm not talking about Linda Evans and Joan Collins either, although they are that glitzy. Walter Payton is a legend at this point. Nope, we are not going to have a 45-43 game today, for sure. But quarterback, that's a different one. 2nd and 11. Payton on a screen is the call. McMahon waits. Far sideline. Payton's got it. 30, 25, 20. That's a gain of 9, and it'll be a 3rd and a short 2. Carl Mecklenburg with the tackle. The Bears, by the way, 2 for 4 on 3rd down. They are... Why is there... Because they got the wrong kicker. If you put in the right kicker, you might actually make a field goal. So 3rd down and 2. Payton. Trap right. Hand off from McMahon. Payton doesn't get a block, and he's hit behind the line by Andre Townsend. Carlos was a barefoot kicker. I don't think Bob Thomas was. So 4th and 3. It'll be Bob Thomas. Has an 80% chance of doing this. Yeah, they are 1 year away from having a refrigerator. Jamie for sure. Bob Thomas. Bassengall will hold. Thomas from 36. For the first points of the game, the kick is up, and it's right down Broadway. So 10 plays, 48 yards, and 3 points. 4:34 to go in the first half. It is the Bears 3, the Broncos nothing. So Lang back deep. By the way, the Bears will get the ball to start the second half. Thomas and Wilhite, the upman for Denver. The Bears battered the Broncos so much in real life in this game that you would have thought the Broncos were a thing of onion rings. Yeah, Thomas wore a shoe. This was a lone game. I don't know what happened. Elway started against the Bengals and won. Gary Kubiak started this game in real life and got hurt. The Bears ran it 50 times in real life. They've run it 9 here through the second. Kickoff taken by Lang at the 5 to the 20 to the 30, and he is hit.
Holding, receiving team.
Well, Rulon Jones gets called for the hold, and that will bring the Broncos back to their own 9. So 4:27. Broncos have all 3 timeouts. The Bears have 2. Wilhite sweeps right. That's the call near sideline. Wilhite gets a no block. Gary Fensick has him panned in for no gain, and it will be 2nd and 10 from the 9. Bears looking their chops here. Elway. Trap left a winder is the call. Sammy gets through the line and gets 4 before Singletary brings him down at the 13. 3rd and 6, 3.5, clock running. Second quarter, 3-0 Bears. Steve Watson, I presume. Medium fly is the call. Elway under center, has to hurry, finds Watson at the 35, a gain of 23. Leslie Frazier makes the tackle. 2:50 to go. First catch for Watson. He had 7 last week against the Bengals for 73 and 2 scores. And that gives Denver room to operate. Johnson. Medium fly the call. Elway has time. He's got Johnson at midfield. 40, 30, 20. He is hit by Gary Fensick at the 13-yard line. The Bears got caught playing NFC Norris football, run, and Elway found a wide-open Butch White Shoes Johnson, and the Broncos, with 2:08 to go, are knocking on the door. Let's watch it again. Look at Gary Fensick. He ran 50 yards the other way. To make the tackle. So the Broncos let it run to 2:01, then take the timeout. From the Bear 13. Ditka screaming up a storm on the sideline. Wow. So the 24-year-old kid from Stanford is 7 for 9. Doesn't that make him... That's a board number, right? For 124 yards. Ditka and Buddy Ryan are not exchanging Christmas cards. On the sideline, Winder. Trap left from Elway. And Sammy is hit behind the line by Singletary for a loss of 1. 2nd and 11. They played it well because they get the timeout for the 2-minute warning. Bears get back. Coach ready to give signal for paramedics. Yep. The Bears are trying to get as stiff as, well, a Klingon ship. 2nd and 11 for Elway. Johnson on a short cross. Elway. Flag is down. Pass is incomplete.
Illegal motion. Offense number 47.
And Gerald Wilhite moved. And so it's 2nd and 16 from the Bears 19 with 1:49 to go. Winder on a flat pass is the call. Elway near side, but he'll never get it away as Richard Dent knocked him down. 4th sack for the Bears today, and they're backed up now to their 25-yard line. You don't burn the Bears. And Elway will just hand it off to Wilhite on the draw to get him closer for the field goal. And that kind of works. It's a 7-yard gain. And we'll let this clock run. Keith Bishop, the right guard, with the tackle. 4th and 15. They'll let this clock run. And then Carlos, who is a barefoot kicker, will come out for the 35-yarder. This is to tie the score at 3 between the Rockies and the Cubs. Carlos. Good. So 7 plays, 73 yards, and just 31 seconds to go in the half. No fancy halftime show today. You'll get that on Thursday. The Broncos and the Bears are tied at 3. So Cameron back deep to return. Gentry and Jordan. The upman for the Bears. That is taken by Cameron at the 5 to the 20. 30. Hit at the 33. A gain of 27. And they're going to try to find their Olympic sprinter, Willie Gault, on a bomb. See if they can get some points here. They get the ball to start the second half. Uh-oh, this is trouble. McMahon rolls. He throws in there. No! Deflected by Louis Wright. That's incomplete. It'll be second down. So McMahon 4 for 5 for 60 yards. Bears are favored by 15 in this game. In real life, it was 5.5. Calvin Thomas. Off tackle left. Bears ready to go in the locker room. Thomas gets 7. And with 7 seconds left, that will be the first half. Well, the Bears will get the football. This one, you surprised the Broncos are playing good defense? We knew the Bears would. Halftime here, 3-3 the score between Chicago and Denver, right here on Retro Sports Network. Well, if you joined us late, there hasn't been a heck of a lot of scoring in this one. 2 field goals, Thomas from 36 and Carlos from 35. The only real big offensive play was a 51-yard bomb from Elway to Johnson. It was 2 catches for 67. Denver leading on the yardage by a 2-1 margin, 148-71. But the Bear defense did what they do, and that was to shut the door. And in fact, after that big play, they knocked the Broncos back a couple yards. So, if you're a fan of passing, maybe this game isn't for you. The Bears will return. It'll be Cameron, Gentry, and Jordan. Thursday at 11:45, we should have some offense as the San Francisco 49ers host Joe Theismann and the Washington Redskins. That's at 11:45 Eastern Thursday. Tomorrow will be a baseball special at noon Eastern. What are we doing? I don't know. We'll figure something out. But the next 2 weeks, we'll have baseball for you noon on Wednesday because you asked for it. Any requests? I know it's a baseball crowd here. Anyway, second half to get underway here. And they'll down it 2 yards deep and give McMahon the ball at the 20-yard line. McMahon, the quarterback for the Bears. Peyton and Suey, the running backs. Gault and McKinnon, the wide receivers. Emery Moorhead, the tight end. Covert and Van Horn, the tackles. Beckert and Bortz. Sounds like either something from the Muppet Show or the guards for the Bears. And Hilgenberg, the center. Peyton. Sweep right on 1st and 10. Far sideline. Got a bit of a block over the 25. Louis Wright, with 4 tackles, makes a stop at the Chicago 26. Defensively for the Broncos, they play a 3-4. Jones and Chavis are your ends. Carter, the nose tackle. Tom Jackson and Carl Mecklenburg, the outside linebackers. Busick and Dennison, the inside linebackers. Louis Wright and Dennis Harden, the corners. Smith and Foley, the safeties. 2nd and 4 for the Bears. 14:50 for third quarter. Moorhead on a short cross. McMahon is flushed. He throws down to Peyton, and that's incomplete. Mecklenburg had to hurry him, and it will be 3rd and 4 with 14:10 to go from the Chicago 26. Peyton. Trying to pitch to the left to get the first down. McMahon does. Peyton, does he get a block? He will, and he'll get it. He got it. Kurt Becker, the left guard, with the big block. And Steve Foley makes the tackle. The Bears get a fresh set at their own 31. So, my baseball fans, what do you want to see tomorrow for a noon special as a one-off? Galt. Medium slant. First down, McMahon, he throws to Moorhead. Emery is hit at the 39 by Dennis Smith for a gain of 8, 2nd and 2. For Chicago, we're waiting for the game's first touchdown. Suey. Dive that ball up the middle. Hand off from McMahon. He is hit. They'll measure, and they get the Dave Gardner spot. Rick Dennison with a tackle. Suey with a gain of 2. Now has 3 carries and 3 yards. Baseball specials. We're going to do baseball on the Wednesdays. We're not doing a third football game. Because when I did the poll, baseball beat out 2nd and 10. So, something Fernando. You know, I was thinking that. You want something from 81? So 1st and 10 for the Bears on their own 41. Opening drive in the second quarter. Peyton. Trap left. Hand off from McMahon near side. He moves along Dennison until he can get 5 yards. That's 10 carries for Sweetness for 40 yards overall. 5 on that play. 2nd and 5 from the 46. Okay, we'll figure out something. So 81 baseball special tomorrow. We'll do a baseball special for you next week too. And then 3 football games because I've peaked. I know what I'm doing. And the answer is, Ron, you never know what you're doing. That's true. I don't. McKinnon on a medium hitch. 2nd and 5. They blitz. McMahon throws. McKinnon's got it. 30-yard line. He is hit by Harden again, who gets another case of athlete scalp. And that's a gain of 26. No, these will be one-offs. These will be one-offs, at least for now. I thought about doing a Red Sox series, but then again, I've got a couple other series where I haven't really done much with, and so this will just be one-offs. And so we'll do something from Fernando in 81. And so, don't forget, next Tuesday, I'll ask you again, what do you want for the Wednesday baseball special? But yep, on the game days that we're not, Wednesdays that we're not doing football, we'll do a baseball game. Because Dave Gardner loves baseball more than life itself. He won't tell you that, but it's absolutely true. It's 1st and 10 from the Bronco 28. Suey off tackle left. McMahon hands it off. Suey waits for it, gets a bit of a block. Hit by Rulon Jones at the 25. That's a gain of 3. So right now, they're just one-offs. Denver's defense has been on the field for a while. 8-play drive for the Bears for 55 yards in 4.5 minutes. McKinnon on an end around. He goes to the near sideline. Cannot get a block. It is a gain of 2 as Steve Foley sniffed that one out and knocked him down. So McMahon will have to go to the air here. Moorhead on a short slant. Broncos blitz. McMahon throws. Moorhead has it. 10, 5, 6. But there's a flag down. It's going to be on Denver.
The passer,
yep.
Defense. Number 79, 15-yard
Chavis decked McMahon too hard after the throw. And so it's a touchdown. And the Bears make it 9-3. We'll show it. Hopefully we'll be able to see the replay here. Here it is again. McMahon was looking for Moorhead at the 12, and there wasn't anybody around him. So Moorhead, 2 catches, 31 yards. And it's 9-3 Chicago. Thomas with the extra point. Barely. Makes it 10-3. And I got to make sure that Thomas has chosen to do extra points. So it's 10-3 Bears, 9:06 to go here in the third quarter. Lang out of the end zone, I think. Yep, that's a touchback. There wasn't anybody near that. So the Bears get a touchdown. And the Broncos will start their first possession of the second half on the 20-yard line. John Elway, the quarterback. Winder and Wilhite, the running backs. Watson and Johnson, the wide receivers. Sawyer, the tight end. Lanier and Studdard, the tackles. Howard, Bishop, the guards. That's 2 different people. And Brian, the center. I didn't call you. For the Bears, it's a 4th, 6. Denton, Hartenstein, the defensive ends. Hampton and McMichael, the tackles. Wilson and Marshall, the outside linebackers. Mike Singletary and those Betty Davis eyes fill the middle. Frazier, Richardson, again, 2 different people, the corners. Bell and Fensick, the safeties. We might do the Cubs and the Padres from San Diego at some point. But I think we'll do a Fernando game from 81 tomorrow. So 1st and 10 for the Broncos. Trap right to Wilhite. Hand off from Elway, and Wilhite is nailed by McMichael at the line of scrimmage for no gain. 8:58 to go here, third quarter, clock running. Wilhite in the flat. Elway changes the play. Draw to Winder on the audible. Is that the right call, Sammy? It is, because Sammy's across the 25 to the 26. That's a gain of 6. Winder 7 carries for 24 yards, and it's a much more manageable 3rd down and 4. And the Elway picked up the defense and made the right call. Once again, Wilhite in the flat is the call. Elway far sideline, can't find Wilhite, and that's 3 and out. 4th and 4, the Broncos have to punt from their own 26. Chris, no relation to Greg Norman, stands on his 11. Fisher back to return for the Bears. And that is blocked. That is blocked. It was not blocked. It was a high snap, and Norman goes, "What do I do with it?" And he ran it for a loss of 4, and McMahon and company take over at the 22. Here it is again. He heard footsteps, and Gary Fensick made a tackle. So 1st and 10 for the Bears on a really short field. Suey on a flat pass, near side. McMahon goes instead to Payton, incomplete. Broncos were looking for a pass. Trap left to Payton from the 22. Walter to the 20 and hit by Reuben Carter at the 19. 3rd and 7. Already well within field goal range. McKinnon. Medium hits. They want a touchdown. McMahon rolls, throws, no! Harden this time got a piece of it. And the Bears will settle for 3. So, they've already tried one from here. Right, 36-yarder. Bassnagel to hold. Thomas. 13-3. Right down Broadway. So the Bears, they wanted 7. They'll take the 3. 6:29 to go in the third quarter. It's Chicago 13, the Broncos 3. Lang Thomas at the 5-20. And Zach Thomas, the upman, gets it to the 20-yard line. It's a 16-yard return. Dave Dewerson is the tackler. So Elway needs to get something cooking here. Wilhite, short flat. Far sideline, Elway throws, complete to Wilhite. He has a first down. He's over the 35. Richard Dent, by the way, batted it up in the air in the waiting arms of Gerald Wilhite. The pass was headed in that direction. Dent got a paw up, and Wilhite turned lemon into lemonade, a gain of 17. Here it is again. You can see the deflection right in the waiting arms of Wilhite, who found the seam. 6:12, clock running, ball to Denver 37. Winder, trap right. Handoff from Elway. Winder over the 40. Hit by Steve McMichael up the 44, a gain of 7. Second and 3. Peros will try a sweep to the right. Handoff from Elway. Peros has a block, but he won't get the first down as Wilber Marshall saved it. The Bears were keying on Winder. Peros 3 carries for 11 yards. 3rd and 1 from the Bronco 46. Elway says, my ball. He'll try it on a bootleg. He waits. He runs. He's got the first down. He's over midfield. It's a gain of 4. And Elway sprints back in the huddle. He has 4 carries for 18 yards. Hartenstein with 2 tackles. So the ball right on the 50. 4 minutes, clock running, third quarter. They're going to throw it. Short slant to Johnson. Elway is blitzed. He throws. He's got Johnson. First down. Gain of 10. Richardson with the tackle. Johnson now 3 catches for 77 yards. And Elway is 9 of 12 for 151. I probably will do an unboxing. I did some beta for that, and was a bad beta tester. The reviews I've read for it from other people have been good. And I liked what I saw in the beta for the basketball. But I'd have to buy the game first. From the Bear 40. Winder. Sweep right. Hand off from Elway. Dodges around one defender, but not a second. Marshall with a stop right on the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 2nd and 10. 2:40 clock running. 13-3 Bears. Late in the third quarter. Medium slant to Watson is the call. Elway blitzed. Steps away, throws. Watson's got it at the 20. A gain of 21. And Elway has heated the Bears' rush well. He is now 10 of 13 for 172. And the Broncos are in the red zone again. Sawyer on a short cross. Elway, 7-step drop. He's got Sawyer, 10. He's knocked down by Bell at the 5. And it's 1st and goal from the Bear 5. And as well as anybody can move against this 4-6 defense, the Broncos have done a good job. Now they need to convert that. 2 tight end set. Kay in the game with Sawyer. Wilhite will try a pitch to the left side. Elway, Wilhite, can he get a block? No. Richard Dent with a tackle. And that will be the end of the third quarter. The final stanza coming up. The Bears and Broncos, they played a good one. It's Chicago 13, the Broncos 3. We'll be back with the fourth quarter right after this. Well, this is right up down the Al Red Sox fans' slobberknocker list. The only touchdown in the game, McMahon to Moorhead, capping an 11-play, 95-yard drive to make it 10-3 Chicago. And Bob Thomas would eventually, after a turnover, the lone turnover of the game, and a 36-yard field goal on a 4-play, 3-yard drive to make it 13-3. Denver, however, has moved the football. Elway 11 for 14 for $186, and they've done okay on the ground. 23 carries for 65 yards. We start the fourth quarter. By the way, Denver has 14 first downs to 7. With it second and goal for Denver on the Chicago 5. 2 tight ends set. Trap right for Winder. Elway hands it off. Sammy to the 4. Sammy loses the football. It is picked up by the Bears. There's a corner, and I believe, yes, sir, Leslie Frazier has picked it up and returned it for 63 yards the other way. Hartenstein drilled Winder, and Frazier picked it up. And he rumbled, bumbled, and stumbled. There it is. Frazier grabbed it. Where? Right there. 20, midfield. And he's brought down after a return of 63 to the Denver 33. And oh my, how this game has just changed on a dime. Monsters of the Midway indeed. And Sammy Winder will be hearing footsteps in his sleep, especially if Chicago can score here. They're already in Thomas range. Galt on a medium fly. Flag is down. Galt's got it. 15. Gain of 20.
Holding. Offense. Number 78.
But it's coming back.
20.
As Keith Van Horn held. Mr. Mao thinks the game is over. He's probably right. But Denver has him now backed up to their Chicago 43. 10 points is not over. But if Chicago gets a touchdown here, I would tend to agree. Trap left for Peyton. Hand off from McMahon. Peyton across the 40. Hit by Mecklenburg at the 35. A gain of 8. Peyton, who ran for 150 against Tampa last week, has 51 today on 12 carries. The Bears have not had the ball all that long. Denver has owned the line of scrimmage, but only has 3 points to show for it. A very frustrating afternoon for Broncos. Suey on the draw. Hand off from McMahon. Suey, the pendulum gets 2. Spotted at the 33. Rulon Jones, his 4th stop. As a defensive unit through 7 quarters, the Bears have given up 6 points. Peyton on a short flat on 3rd and 10, and he can't get it. So Bob Thomas from 50 into the wind, and this will make it a 2-touchdown game if he can convert it. Bashnagel to hold it. Thomas has a 56 and change chance of making this. Good snap. Wide, no, it's no good. Wide right. He had the distance, but didn't have the angle on it, and Denver gets a reprieve from the Warden. 13:05, fourth quarter. Broncos trail by 10. Wilhite in the flat. Elway is flushed. Elway goes to Winder instead. Sammy gets a gain of 3. Frazier with a tackle. 2nd and 7 for Denver. Again, they can pretty much do what they want. Johnson on a flea flicker. Some trickeration. Elway to Winder. Back to Elway. Back to Winder. Wow. A game of pickle. And that's a gain of 3. That went nowhere. Otis Wilson made the tackle. 3rd and 4. Watson on a medium hitch. Elway blitzed. Throws. Watson, 40-yard line, has it. First down. A gain of 24. He has 3 catches on the day for 68. And Elway has put 216 yards on the Bears defense. 1st and 10. They are barely in Carlos's range. Wilhite. Sweep to the right side. Near sideline. Wilhite doesn't get anything. He's chased out of bounds by Arnstine for a loss of 2. Paul Howard, the left guard, could not make the block. 2nd and 12. Elway. He wants to sweep it to the right. He's their best rusher. Elway gets a block. 35-30. First down. And he's hit by Otis Wilson after a gain of 14. A designed run by Elway, and it worked. 1st and 10 from... Yeah, they got to get 3. They don't need a touchdown. They need 3, and they're getting closer all the time. Now in the Bear 25, Elway. Off tackle right to Winder. Sammy gets a block. Frazier knocks him down. A gain of 6. They'll spot it at the 19. Denver getting 3 yards a rush, but at least they're consistent with it. Sawyer. Short slant to the tight end to call Elway. This is trouble. Elway intercepted by the safety, and Bell brings it down at the 40-yard line. Dan Reeves is spitting out Mike Ditka's gum. That was a bad pass. He threw it loaded, Elway. Todd Bell with the interception, and that probably will get Don Meredith out to sing a few words. Here it is again. Elway just threw it low. It was tipped Todd Bell, and the air is coming out of the balloon now. And with 9:14 to go, the Bears are sitting pretty. Suey. Trap left. Hand off. Suey hit by Dennison for a gain of 2. As we said, Elway, barely 24 years old, is getting an earful from Reeves on the sideline. Elway put no elevation on that pass. I could have blocked it almost. Payton, off tackle left, handoff near side. Payton gets a 2 yards before Rulon Jones can make the stop. So Chicago, they were thinking they'd get 4 yards of carry, they'd be all set. They got a combination of 4 yards on 2 carries. So instead of 3rd and 2, it's 3rd and 6. All right, John, have a safe travels. We'll talk to you tomorrow. McKinnon on a medium out. McMahon, far sideline, no. So the Bears are forced to punt. Finzer to Thomas and Wilhite. Denver calls for the safe return. Finzer to Wilhite, and he gets it to the 20 or the 19. 7:48. Again, the Broncos have half a quarter to get 10 points. The Broncos defense has played well. But now Denver needs to throw it. Medium hits to Johnson on 1st and 10. Elway near sideline. Johnson's got it. First down. Gain of 12. Mike Richardson doesn't allow any yak. 1st and 10. Bronco 31. They go hurry up. Watson. Medium slant. Elway has time. He checks it down to Wilhite. Incomplete. So 2nd and 10, 7:21 to go. Wilhite on a screen. Far sideline, Elway has him. 35, 38, gain of 7. Elway now 16 for 20 of 21 for 235. Broncos have it 3rd and 3. They are 4 for 9 on 3rd down today. Winder. Out of the flat, they stick with it. Elway has to go around. He finds Winder, and Sammy has the first down. Again, McMichael got a hand on it. Another low throw by Elway, but Winder leapt to make the catch, and he turns it into 1st and 10. 6:23 to go. Again, Broncos in a hurry up. Long slant to Watson to call. Elway back to throw it. He does, and that is complete to Watson. 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Denver! Oh! He found him. Who'd he beat? He beat a linebacker on the play. I think it was Otis Wilson. And Steve Watson scores to make this a 4-point game. He's got 4 catches for 122 yards. Leslie Frazier could not bring him down. And then it was off to the races. And for the second time today, Denver beat Chicago on a long bomb. They go 5 plays on 81 yards in 1:51. And it's not done yet. Don't go away. The extra point is good. And it's a 3-point game. Mr. Mouse going, told you it was going down to the wire. We'll forget that game over was your message. So we got ourselves an ending here. 5:57 to go, 4th quarter. The Bears 13, the Broncos 10. That poor piece of Wrigley's Doublemint has been spit on the ground and rechewed so many times, well, I wouldn't want to know what it tasted like. Carlos to boot this deep, taken at the goal line by Cameron. He gets to the 17, and now the Bears just need to take some time off the clock. Suey in the flat, near side. McMahon's got him. Stay in bounds. 20. He does. It's a gain of 8. And that's exactly what the Bears needed. Tom Jackson with a second tackle. Clock running, 5:44 to go. Payton on an off tackle left. And he gets the first down. It's a gain of 5 as Dennison makes a stop. And that's what the Bears needed. 5 minutes, clock running. 13-10 Bears. This time Payton in the flat. McMahon has to do something. He's going to scramble, and he gets a gain of 12 before Louis Wright brought him down. So he couldn't find Payton. He just tucked tail and ran. Jimbo Covert, the left tackle, paved the way, and McMahon gets a first down in a 12-yard scramble. .4:19 and the clock is running. They'll try the same thing again. Flag is down.
False start.
Somebody moved.
Offense. Number 79.
The left guard,
5-yard
Becker.
penalty. Repeat first down.
And the clock is stopped with 3:41 to go. 1st and 15. Walter. Off tackle left, the call. Near side, Payton, 40. Hit at the 43, a gain of 6. Denver was playing for the pass. Jimbo Covert again makes the big block. 3:33 to go. The Bears have taken 2:18 off the clock. Trap right on 2nd and 9 for Payton. Walter, nothing there. It's a gain of 1. But now that clock is under 3 minutes. 16 carries for Walter for 65 yards. And on 3rd and 8, McMahon is going to have to throw it. McKinnon on a short slant to call. McMahon is flushed, and Reuben Carter made the sack. 2:26. And the Bears will let that roll all the way down to the 2-minute warning. Well, they took 3:51 off the clock. They're going to have to punt. You've got a good kicker in Carlos. The Broncos tie the game with a field goal, and they win the game with a touchdown, more or less. Finzer will punt it deep. What little wind there is in the Bears' face. Finzer boots it away, taken by Thomas at the 25. He is smothered at the 29. Technically, it's a gain of 3. They go 3 wide. Alexander is your other receiver. Elway out of the gun. Winder into block. 153. Denver has 71 yards to win the game. Watson on a medium out. Elway has time. He's waiting. He throws right in the waiting arms of Mike Richardson. That is intercepted. The Bears, I think, have won this game. Deflected by Leslie Frazier, and for the 3rd time, it's caught after the deflection, but if you're a Bear fan, by the right team. So Elway had it tipped right in the waiting hands, and it's an 8-yard return. So which is it, Mr. Bow? Is it over or is it not? No, I think it's over now. So with 1:49, and we've crossed the 1 o'clock hour here, tonight on NBC, Silver Spoons. Ricky discovers that Aaron Gray's a hottie. Tonight at 7 Eastern on NBC, followed by Punky Brewster. Punky decides she wants to dye her hair purple. It's the 80s. You don't do that then. Today, they'd be buying her the hair dye. That's at 7:30. At 8, Amazing Stories. Profiles the tales of one William the Refrigerator Perry, a senior at Clemson High School, and has a chance to eat his way into the NFL. Steven Spielberg's Amazing Stories tonight at 8. At 9, Alfred Hitchcock presents Mike Ditka's Gum. The story of a poor piece of Wrigley Spearmint gum that has been thrown 17,000 times on an average Sunday afternoon. What does it taste like? You'll find out. Alfred Hitchcock presents. And then NBC Weekend Magazine profiles Dave Gardner. All tonight, after the game, right here on Retro Sports Network. Remember, Thursday, 11:45 Eastern. My pleasure, Mr. Mao. Washington and San Francisco, that's the halftime game. You get the halftime report. And tomorrow we'll do some Fernando Mania for you, the 1981 Dodgers, and Fernando Valenzuela at noon Eastern. So that's his live schedule this week on Retro Sports Network. Matsui, off tackle right, 1st and 10. Flag is down. That's not what the Bears needed.
Holding offense. Number 74, 10-yard
Jimbo
penalty.
Covert called for the hold. Chavis is guilty of it, or made the tackle. So 1st and 20 for the Bears. 1:43 to go. Denver might get the ball back with some time. Peyton on a draw. And Peyton hit at the 40, falls forward to the 38, 2nd and 16. Foley on the tackle. Minute 35 to go, and the Bears have the football, 2nd down. Peyton on the screen. McMahon finds Peyton, 40, 35, 30, 1st down, and that'll do it. That'll do it. Walter Payton, his 2nd catch of the game. He found the seam. He got a 1st down. He gave a couple jukes. And with a minute 17 and 1 timeout, the Bears will play it safe. Matsui on the dive to take that timeout. He is hit at the 14. Denver calls the timeout. Now, we're going to cheat and use the kneel. It's over. So the Bears go to 2-0 in the NFC Central. Big win for them. They won this game in real life. The Broncos fall to 1-1. But again, that's what it was in real life. And Elway played great. 18 for 24. He was picked off twice, but the Bears did that to everybody. He threw for 297. And they only lost by a field goal. It was much closer than in real life. The Bears, by the way, were 5.5-point favorites. And the over-under was 40. So if you'd bet the under, you would have won. McMahon takes a knee, and that'll do it. The final score is Chicago 13, Denver 10. The only scoring in the 4th quarter was that 54-yard pass from Elway to Watson. Carlos with the extra point and made it a 3-point game. But the interception on Denver's first play following a Chicago punt ended the game, and Chicago converted 1 first down. That's all they had to convert. Denver 19 first downs to 10. They put 355 yards on the Bears defense. But they ended up turning it over 4 times. That was the special thing with the Chicago Bears, and you saw that on display. Nobody was injured today. This was your usual early game on NBC. Absolutely. And I don't know who you go with for the player of the game. There wasn't really anybody that stood out. I guess Peyton. 17 carries, 69 yards, 2 catches for 29, and that late first down pretty much ended everything there. Elway with a good game. But the Bears D, yep. See if there's anybody specifically on the Bears D we give the game ball to. I guess the Todd Bell interception pretty much was it. But Otis Wilson, 7 tackles and a sack. Frazier with 1 defense pass. Pretty much the Bears D is right. As a unit, they are one of the best ever. And it showed today. So, Fernando Mania, 81 baseball tomorrow. Dodgers on the special. And then Thursday at 11:45 Eastern, 8:45 Pacific. Besides, you don't need to watch the end of the Today Show anyway. It'll be the Redskins and the 49ers, the home opener from Candlestick Park in San Francisco. I'm Ron Juckett. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you tomorrow for baseball.